Welcome back. I'm your host, Susanna May O'Hagan, and today we will be talking about Barbie of Swan Lake. Barbie of Swan Lake is a 2003 animated fantasy film based on the Swan Lake. Plot: Barbie tells the following story to her little sister Kelly, who is feeling uneasy about being at overnight camp for the first time. Odette is a young woman who lives in a small village with her father and sister and works in the family bakery. She is a talented dancer but is shy and timid about it. Meanwhile, Prince Daniel is informed by his mother that it's time for him to marry, and she is hosting a ball for him to choose a wife. The men of the village go after a unicorn named Lily, Lila. She is followed by a curious Odette into an enchanted forest. Lily, I'll just call her L, becomes caught in a bush. So Odette looks for something to free her. She spots a crystal lodged in a rock, which she easily removes as the other dozens of forests watch in astonishment. The Fairy Queen tells Odette that by freeing the magic crystal, she is destined to defeat the sorcerer Rothbirth. Rothbirth, her cousin, was angered when she was chosen to become the next ruler of the forest. Rothbirth left and returned years later with his daughter Ideal, and has since taken over most of the forest, turning the fairies and the elves into animals. Odette, afraid to get involved, declines the help but is confronted by, I'm calling him R, who gives her the same curse as the others, turning her into a swan. The queen gives Odette with a tiara embroidered with the crystal that protects her from R's magic. As her powers are too weak, the queen only partly reverses the spell, allowing Odette to regain human form by night but turn back into a swan by day. Odette and Elle go meet E, a troll who takes care of a massive library in order to find the book of the forest lore, which can tell them how to break the spell. However, they are unsuccessful. Danielle, who is out hunting, is lured into the forest by Rob R, determined to get him to hunt and kill Odette. However, just as he's about to shoot her, Danielle is captivated by the swan's beauty and decides to let her live. Odette then transforms in front of him and protects him from R. The two of them spend the night together and fall in love. Danielle invites Odette to the ball the next night. E finds the book and reveals that the key to defeating R is true love. However, if Danielle falls for another guy, Daniel, the magic crystal will lose its power and Odette will die. R abducts E and the book. While Odette rescues E, R attends the ball with Ideal, magically disguised as Odette. Odette flees to the castle in her swan form to warn Daniel, but it's too late. Daniel pledges his love to Odile, causing Odette to collapse. With the crystal's power gone, R takes it from Odette. In the forest, he turns the Fairy Queen into a mouse. Odette wakes up as Danielle arrives to confront R. R's spell hits them both. Their hands intertwine. At that moment, R is consumed by the crystal's magic as Daniel and Odette had tried to protect each other out of true love. R's evil is undone. Everyone from the village and the forest celebrate as Odette and Daniel are to be married. R becomes a cuckoo clock, while Odette ends up as a maid. Odile. These names are hard. Ends up as a maid in E's library. The story of courage gives Kelly new resolve, and she promises she will participate in a, race the following day. So, Barbie of Swan Lake, not much here. Let's see. It got 66 on the meter. This movie was all. Okay, let's read some of these comments. This movie was awful. It reeks like stonk children. It invokes feelings of violence so intense within me that I threw a stuffed animal at the TV. Do not watch this movie. There are plenty of good children movies out there. This is not one of them. This was in 2024, so I guess you got. I feel so old because this came out when I was younger. Love the classic story and the costumes and the characters. It was one of the best movies of my childhood, although the graphics may not be the best. I lived it a lot and would recommend for young children. See, yeah, we loved it back then. The graphics are probably not up to par anymore, but we used to love this movie. One of my favorite movies of all times. I love the animation. I love the message about courage. I call this a perfect film. I love this movie so much as a child that I dressed up as Barbie of Swan Lake. Yeah, see, I used to love dressing like Swan Lake. Um, I understand why so many elements from the ballet had to be changed for the kids. I really do. The one time I approve of the major changes, but some of these changes are dumb. It made me cry for a very long time. Why is Prince Daniel so dumb? Okay, yeah, so yeah, this is a like 8 out of 10 movie. It's not ordeal. Oh, and for kids this day and age, it might not be even that high. For me, it was because I grew up with it, and that's the graphics we had. Now the graphics are better, the plots are better than what they used to be, but this is what they gave us when we were kids. I mean, okay, Odile had that necklace that makes you think it's true love in front of you, but first of all, Daniel saw Odette transform into a swan as soon as the sun came out. Yeah, there's some things in this movie that make you go, why is this happening? If you grew up with this movie, you understand the impact. If you didn't watch it as a child, not so much. Rewatch this 15 years later, bring back the feeling of being a kid. Yeah, I think that's the only reason we like it, is because it brings back like nostalgia. For what it is an entertaining film for young children. The animation hasn't aged too well, but it has a certain charm to it. I will agree. The animation is not great. Okay, so we'll just keep reading some of these comments. This movie had a little to do with the actual song. Like the movie was very inaccurate and wasn't anything like the traditional ballet. I wouldn't recommend watching it to anyone. If you want to watch Swan Lake, don't watch this. I think this movie is a masterpiece among the other Barbie movies. The character development is perfect and the story builds up was amazing. 10 out of 10. This was the best movie I've ever seen. The animation is truly stunning, especially Lily's cheeks. E was the ultimate means. I can't date anyone now that I've seen him. I have the movie and I watch it tons of times. While it was not as good as the Swan Princess, it's still enchanting and has a more relatable heroine. I am only 10 years old and I really like the Barbie movies still. I still watch them with my best friend that's 2 years younger than me. I still like them, but I like my other favorites more just because I'm older now. Anyway, it's a good movie. I absolutely love this film. It's just dancing, ha ha ha, beautiful. Yes, so, like, the thing is, Swan Lake is what it is. It's not gonna hit you in your feels. It's not the best Barbie movie. Let's see if we can see some photos so I can give you an idea. Like, I think Odette is the prettiest graphic we got. This is the dude. He gave me the creeps even without his face. They made him look evil, so you knew he was evil. His daughter did not help. At least she didn't have his nose, though. Like, Odette was the prettiest one, I think. They made her look very pretty. I loved the outfits that they had back then. But some of these characters in some of the Barbie movies just look so weird. I will admit, they don't look normal. Like, I have my favorite Barbie movies. The Nutcracker. Okay, I love the Nutcracker, but every time I watch it, I want to dance. And yeah, the graphics aren't great in the Barbie movies because these are really old. This one was my favorite. I loved this one. And we'll talk about all of the Barbie movies that I can find, even the live action. But yeah, like, and yes, there is another version of Swan Lake with her turning into a swan. It's not the same movie though. It's not this Barbie one. I actually prefer that one over this Barbie one, which I know sounds wrong. Okay, this one's actually better than you would think. Some of the graphics are just weird, y'all. Oh, there's the prince, I believe. But these were like the best graphics we had at that time. Yeah, because that totally is not nightmare fuel. Oh, the Barbies though. We used to play with them and play the games that they had. There's so many Barbie movies that it's interesting. There it is. She is from a Swan Lake, Princess Odette. This one I prefer over the Barbie one. The Barbie one isn't like horrible, but it's not like my favorite one out of the Barbie movies. This one's kind of cute too. Like, I've seen a lot of these movies since I was a kid. Oh, Rapunzel. Okay. I can't. Her versus the Disney one, they are so different, but still have some qualities that they both have their own category in my heart. Like, I'm an artist and I love the art thing, and I couldn't tell you which Rapunzel I prefer. They're both, like, pretty much head to head. Where the other princess who plays Odette, I prefer. But why'd they have to make him so creepy? Like, you could have made him look a little better. I know he's the bad guy, but like, dang, you made him look crazy. But like Odette, they definitely made her look very pretty. But yeah, I think it's a movie that if you like Barbie, you could try to watch it. Is it my favorite of all the Barbie movies? No. I have my list, and I will give you my list at some point. I do love the Nutcracker, but I don't know if that would be. We'll have to see. This one's lower on my list of all of the Barbie ones because it's okay. I liked it. It was cute, but I liked the other one better. Give it a watch. See what you think. Don't mind the graphics. Just remember that is what we had. Just like I remember when I watched older TV shows, this is the time period, and that is what they had, and what it's based in. Because if you look, like, I've learned, if you look at it through those eyes, where, okay, this is the year it was made, this is the year it's based in, that's why it looks like this. Okay. Because some